Welcome to Flavortown. Flavortown is defined as a state of mind where fun and food meet in perfect harmony. As Guy Fieri pulls into the next restaurant, you cannot help but salivate and wonder how he can pull off frosted tips after so many years. As he's about to try the best looking pizza in Chicago, a commercial break. Angry you involuntarily left your stay in the town, your attention is caught by an ad for Xanax. You say to yourself, isn't that drug so many people are addicted to? And who are they advertising to? As you are bombarded with a myriad of possible symptoms and side effects, you wonder, is this a problem? My topic today is prescription drug advertising. Nowadays, you can see the effect advertising has had by the sheer amount of people with these bottles around their house. Whether an ethical sale or not, the issue still remains. I'm qualified to discuss this subject due to the amount of research I've completed for this speech. There are three main points I will discuss in the body of my speech. First, I will provide the issues with advertising prescription drugs. My second point will explore the causes of said issue. My third point of discussion will explore the solution to the advertisement of these prescription drugs. Let's begin with the issues regarding prescription drug advertisement. My first main point is the problem with prescription drug advertisement to the general population. According to a 2005 paper by Benjamin Lewin that appeared in ProQuest, doctors are subjected to fighting battles with their patients on sufficient treatment. Though the thought of a doctor fighting a patient sounds far-fetched, it does happen. After seeing ads for what a patient has deemed a reasonable treatment, the patient can then pester the doctor and possibly lose sight on the real reason the patient is there, to get treatment. Doctors attain expertise in their field and should be looked upon for advice on health, rather than be subjected to scolding by the general public. Further pushing a doctor to prescribe a drug that seems to be helpful based on a 30-second TV ad could have serious adverse health effects for an individual. With all of the ads we see in a day, another place we should not see them is a doctor's office. A physician's job should not be one in which they're selling a product. Outlined in an article in the Journal of Family Practice written in 1999, Robert Bell discusses how, with advertising, a physician-consumer relationship could develop. Again, it's a doctor's job to provide treatment for a patient rather than to sell a product. This relationship has no room for advertisement. These advertisements can also have an adverse effect. If you have seen the ad about Xanax and have heard all the side effects, you would be less likely to accept the prescription. Even if the drug could provide a comfortable level of treatment, the thought of the possible side effects that you may never incur could ward off consumption. Now that you are familiar with the problems associated with prescription drug advertising, I'll move on to my second point. My second point explores the causes of prescription drug advertising becoming an issue. Direct-to-consumer advertising is a new area for prescription drug advertising. This is done by showing consumers, whether medicinally literate or not, ads promoting their drugs. In an article written in the World Health Organization in 2011, Gary Humphrey reports that, quote, direct-to-consumer advertising of drugs has been legal in the United States since 1985, but really took off in 1997, end quote. Why then was there a sudden increase in 1997? In that year, the FDA eased up on the pharmaceutical companies' limitations on drug advertising. This allowed companies to run infomercials so long as a detailed list of side effects was provided. With these bounds broken, the advertising took off. This allowed many pharmaceutical companies the opportunity to have their name in the general public rather than just in the medical community. The cascade of direct-to-consumer ads thus flooded the market with hundreds of drugs with thousands of side effects. Another contributing factor to the large increase of ads is the drug companies' main profits come from sale rather than the development of the product. Apsana Marwa acknowledges this increase in her article written in Food and Drug Law Institute in 2017. By noting that the annual growth rate increases as the amount of advertisement increases. The pharmaceutical market is projected to increase to $1.3 trillion in 2020. This is a 9-fold larger than the world's pizza market as of 2019. With so much money involved in pharmaceuticals, companies are forced to advertise as much as possible, as research and development of a new drug is expensive, wherein some of the profits would be needed for the innovation to continue. Without as much as direct-to-consumer advertisement, it can be assumed that the development of new drugs would be hindered. Now that you are aware of the causes of prescription drug advertising, I will now move on to my third point. My third point explores the solution to prescription drug advertising. With drug companies looking for profits, they are willing to sacrifice the lives of many for extra zeros in their bank accounts. A paper written in 2006 in the Journal of Population and Health Policy by Julie Donahue, it was determined that the dangers of drug advertisement exceeds the possible benefits. With this being said, there's a need to stop the pushing of drugs on the free market and increase research funding. A great example of this is happening right now. Imagine if pharmaceutical companies working to develop a cure for coronavirus stop their research to market their already completed drugs to attain more money for research. It would already be too late for them, and now we are seeing the government give subsidies to these companies in order to progress research. Why then are companies not funded by the government when we are not in a state of crisis? Because drugs are seen as a capital good rather than a welfare good. This means they are subjected to profit, wherein the government cannot interfere. Brandon Hughes wrote in Society for the Study of Addiction in 2012 that many other countries have devised systems to classify new substances as drugs and to stop the open marketing of these products. These enforced safety programs allow for new substances to be deemed drugs faster and to not let companies explore the direct-to-consumer advertisement possibilities. Along with making more strict regulations on the advertisement, stopping drugs from seemingly appearing on the open market can help lessen the role marketing has on public health. For these changes to be enacted on a grand scale, those in the seats of leadership will need to enact change. I urge you to write your local senator on this issue to offer more aid for the greater good of society at large. In conclusion, today I discussed the topic of prescription drug advertising. There were 3 main points I focused on in the body of my speech. First, I explained the problems associated with prescription drug advertising. Second, I explored the causes of the issue. Lastly, I provided a solution. For our health system to be improved, it is necessary to limit the reach drug companies have on the free market. The products these companies are selling are much different than those selling short-sleeve, button-up shirts with flames. These products can be deadly, and the information provided should be to those who are fully capable of understanding what they can do for your overall health. I strongly urge you to contact your local senator about mandating harsher limitations on drug company advertisement in an effort to protect the lives of many.